Hello and welcome to BioMentors. Today we are going to talk about developmental basics of developmental biology, and we will look upon certain terminologies which is important to study development processes. And today we are going to study commitment, about cell commitment, and there are two stages of commitment. First is specification and second is determination. We will look upon what is commitment, and then after we will discuss about different types of specification, and then we will conclude our lecture with determination. So what is commitment? Commitment is commitment occurs at the time of cleavage. So when after the fusion of gametes, zygote is formed, right? After the formation of zygote, the zygote, the two-celled, sorry, diploid zygote divides to form di- uh, different cells, 8, 10, morula and gastrula. First it will form morula, then it will form blastula. So before the stage of blastulation, at the time of cleavage, where morula is formed, there are generally 8 cells are present, and the cleavage occurs at that time. So at that time, the cells are not structurally and functionally modified, and secondly, no genes are expressed in those cells. These cells are just multicellular mass of cells. The cells. So the definition of commitment is like that. So the cells commit to a specific fate, and the capacity is to differentiate into a particular kind of cell type. So they decide a particular cell decides its own fate and the capacity to differentiate that cell into a particular form structurally and functionally. So the new cells, first they are uncommitted, and then after they goes into the commitment. But the uncommitted and committed cells looks alike. So the stages of commitment. So there are two stages of commitment, namely specification and determination. So first, specification occur. So let's see what is specification. Can revert back from the commitment. So this first in the first stage, the cells can revert back and go back from their commitment. For example, a cell decides its fate to form blood cells, but in the specification stage, it can revert back its mechanism, which means it will not form blood cells. Instead of that, they will form brain cells or they will form muscle cells, right? So they are labile. They are labile and can be influenced by other type of cells. So these cells are labile and they can be influenced by the other type of cells. For example, if the commitment of a cell is to form blood cells, but if they are kept in with uh, muscle cells, then it will form muscle cells. So their fate can be changed or can be altered. Okay. Second stage is called as determination stage, or it is also referred to as specification irreversible stage, because in specification it was reversible, and the second stage is determination, where the specification of the cell is irreversible, cannot revert its fate. In this stage, genome are selected from expression in different embryonic cells. So in this stage, the genomes are selected and the gene expression will occur after that. In such cells, if such cells are kept with other cells in a Petri plate, their fate won't be changing. So this was an overview. For example, what is specification? So this is our mass of cells. Like the cleavage has occurred. In the first step, specification is labile. When the specification is labile, it will form muscle cells. If muscle cells are taken and it is kept in the Petri plate with neurons, then it will change its fate and will form neurons. But in the second phase, where the specification is irreversible, muscle cell with neuron in a Petri plate will form muscle cells, which means they are determined. Now, types of specification. So there are majorly three types of specification, namely autonomous specification, conditional specification, and syncytial specification. We will look first at the autonomous specification. In this type of specification, blastomers of early embryo are appointed as a set of critical determination factor with the egg cytoplasm. So they are self-sufficient, which means the blastomer of early embryo, which means from very early they know what the cell fate is. Their cell fate is already decided before determination stage. So they are self-sufficient, and autonomous specification thus is also known or also is equal to determination stage, the second stage. It is also termed as mosaic development. Autonomous specification is also known as mosaic development, and here potency is equals to prospective fate. So potency, the ability of a cell to divide or a cell to divide is equal to its cell fate, right? The second is conditional specification. So in conditional specification, sorry. So in conditional specification, all vertebrates and few invertebrates shows this type of specification. Conditional specification is a process by which cells achieve their respective fate by interacting with others. So there is different kinds of mechanism are there, which means conditional specification only occurs by extracellular or intracellular signaling when two cells are interacting with each other, right? They are also termed, the conditional specification is also termed as regulative development because one cell regulates the development or specification of the other cell. So they are called as, it is also called as regulative development. Through cell-cell contact, this occurs, and the cell-cell contact can be juxtacrine signaling by side cells are there or secreted by paracrine signals. There are two types of signal by which conditional specification occurs. In this, prospective is greater than potency, which means prospective potency is greater than the prospective fate, which means the potency. So the cells has high potency because it can, if this cell is kept with muscle cells, or they will get muscle signals either by juxtacrine or paracrine signal, they will go in formation of muscle cells. If it will get signaling by the neural signals are received, then it will form neural cells. So their potency is greater than their fate, and thus they are more capable of converting it into the another form. Now this third is syncytial specification. So in syncytial specification, it is seen in most of the classes of insects. In arthropods, they are seen, and majorly we will see the syncytial specification in Drosophila. So what is that? Specification of body region by interaction between cytoplasmic region prior to the cellular organization of blastopore. So the specification of the cell does not occur by any juxtacrine or paracrine signaling, nor the fate is previously decided, but it occurs by cytoplasmic region in the blastopore. After cellularization, both autonomous and conditional specification occurs. So after that, after cellularization, both the specification occurs in syncytial specification, and we will see this specification when we will study the Drosophila development. So from this, we can conclude that committed cell, the cells at first, the zygotic cells are uncommitted, right? They will go into commitment. They will form a commitment. Then they will go under specification, which can revert back from their fate. And then finally they will go into determination, and then differentiation occurs. Sorry for the spelling mistake. But then finally the differentiation occurs, and they will structurally and functionally be active to form or to achieve their own fate. Right. So this was all about specification and determination, the two terms which would be helpful to study developmental biology further. Thanks for watching this video, and in our next lecture we will talk about induction and competence and stem cells, as well as we will talk about potency. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give support by smashing the like button. Thank you.